much a distraction my dogs are. He's trying to play with them because I haven't been asking him to do anything. So I just don't want you to think that he's not messing around with my dogs. Wow, you're going for the leash? Come here. Drop. Hey. Drop. Good job. There you go. All right. So, heel. Heel is getting parallel with me on the right. Front is sit in front of me. Good. He still kind of needs the hand signal for heel. Okay, so you can fade that gradually. Just help him out to get his whole body back and around into kind of parallel. He was really bad. It took me a week to get him to really do this. So Gigi is barking at probably a rabbit or a bird. Not helpful. You want to go inside? Okay. All right. So heel. Good. And then if you're walking and then you change directions, you say this way, and he changes directions and catches up. You say stop. He stops and sits. Now, anything, all done? All done. Anything that you cue a dog to do is a stay exercise. They should continue to stay doing that exercise until you re-cue them or you release them. His release cue is all done. So when you're working heel, you're basically doing the same thing as park it, where it's distance, duration, distraction, and you got to work on duration a lot in the beginning because he doesn't realize that you want him to continue to heel. He's done the duty, he got his treat, he thinks he's done, which is why you create a dog that takes a treat and lunges, and he had that down pat, and he still kind of does. So I want to make sure that you're creating a behavior that can last, right? So that he's not just stopping when he gets a reinforcement. All right, so heel. We'll walk by. Leave it. Leave it. Good job. So that's our bowl of food. This way. Heel. Stop. Good. Heel. Be instructional. Leave it. Good boy. Good job. Heel. Good. Walking by Gilly again. I'm going to give Gilly a treat. Stop. Good job. And so if you stop and say hi and talk to somebody, I want you to treat him, and I want you to work on treating him, gradually increasing that duration, and he's cheating, so you can put him back into a heel so that he's in parallel. And so 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004, 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,004, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,000, right? I want you to kind of count in your head and extend it. And then say, all done, when you're finished. So a heel is your walk, and it's his job to keep the leash loose. And when you say, all done, go sniff, your job is to keep the leash loose. Now, there's always the end of the leash, and I do suggest that you get a longer line. The longer the line, the better handler you have to be, because I don't want him lunging on you at the end of a 20-foot line, because you'll fall flat on your face. So when he's close to you, you wrap up the line, and when he wants to go out, you let him have the line. If he lunges at the end of a line that he's already at the end of and it's 20 feet long, yes, you don't have control over your dog, but he's not going to pull you on your face. And you can get him back, and I will show you how to get him back when we do our session together tomorrow. But loose leash walking is kind of different than heel. So heel is he keeps the leash loose, and loose leash walking, basically you keep the leash loose, but again, you can't, you know, trespass on somebody's front doorstep. You can't walk through bushes or cars, you know, so there's always the end of the line. And I need to get my dog out of the way right now. So there's always the end of the line. So end of the line, he hits it, you wait, mark and treat the second he gives into that pressure. So he goes to the end of the line, wait, and if you get the line parallel to the ground, it works better. You don't have to put a lot of pressure. When he moves into the pressure, mark and treat, mark and treat, mark and treat. So, you know, so you're, and I'm throwing food just to create him not paying attention to me. He goes to the end of the line, right? Don't let him get the resource. Get parallel to the ground. Put your hip into the pull if he's really pulling, because he was like, what, a half an inch from getting that. So he was determined. He's like, I know I can get a half inch out of that lady. Right? Good boy. And as he gets better at this, he's going to feel that clip start to go up, and he's going to realize he's losing you. All done. Take it. And and that's okay, right? The communication of the leash is two-way. And please don't think of the leash as a way to control your dog. Think of it as a way to... Gigi, I know you're bored, and I know you're barking because you're bored, but that makes him bark, so. Anyway, if a dog can't make a choice to walk into the right spot, then he doesn't know where to walk. If he can't make a choice to give into that pressure like that, if I put pressure on the leash from any direction, he should move into it. If he can't make that choice, then he doesn't know that leash pressure means move into it. If I were to leash you up and pull on you, if I hadn't trained you to move into the leash when you felt that pressure, you would pull in the opposite direction, because if you didn't, you would fall over. Unless you were prepared to walk to me when you felt that leash pressure. And nobody wants to do that automatically. Like, you know, that's just not what comes naturally. So teaching leash pressure is actually a learned behavior. And I started with very much the basics, where I put him in a sit or a stand, got him untangled, shortened the leash to about a foot, parallel to the ground, and I pulled. And trust me, there we go. The first time I did this, he fought the pull like none other. We stood there for at least a minute before he finally gave in to the leash pressure. You know, and then you can make it harder, and he has to move away from the food in order to get the food and stuff like that. But you're just teaching him, hey, when I feel a little bit of pressure on the leash, that means I'm losing my handler, and I should go in that direction, because he really doesn't care where he's going. He just wants to sniff around. So a longer line allows him to do that and makes the walks a lot more satisfying for him. It also gives him the freedom to make the choice to get the reinforcement from you as well. But again, in the beginning, you got to create a nice reinforcement history to walking next to you before he's gonna just automatically do it. When I started with him, I would put the treat on the ground, get ahead of him, he catches up, treat on the ground, ahead of him, catches up, treat on the ground. So he got out of that take the treat and lunge, take the treat and lunge, type thing. Okay, let's heel. There you go, buddy. You did good. Yeah, it's getting dark.